Okay, so I finished putting on the other side and I've screwed it from top to bottom all the way down. So this is my top of the storage unit. I won't put the top on yet, and that's the bottom down there. Earlier, as I showed you, I marked off with pencil the width and the location as to where the shelves were going to go. And here I went to Hallmark and I bought this what we call doweling, and it's square. It's 2.5 centimeters square. Because of the weight of the wood that I'm using and the length, it's going to be 105 centimeters apart. I want something thick and substantial to accommodate holding the weight. Yes, I'll be screwing in the shelves, but I want something underneath to help support the weight. Another thing to take into consideration when you're picking out your support pieces is how much weight you intend to have on your shelves. I don't intend to have a heck of a whole lot. I'm not going to be putting major books up top. I mean, earthquake reasons, not smart. Big heavy books will go down bottom. So I've picked out my piece, and what I did was, when you're picking out a piece of wood, if it's any great length, 80 centimeters or over, what you want to do is actually pretend like you're looking through the crosshairs of a shotgun. So I'll just use this little piece as an example. You hold it up away from you and you just look down. Sometimes wood will naturally bow, so you don't want to buy those pieces. It's a waste of money. So when you're choosing your wood, always check it out. And these pieces, I had them cut at Hallmark into 24 centimeter pieces. They were originally 182 centimeters. So each piece was taken out, looked at it, turned it around, just look down the length of the piece of wood. So again, I want to make sure that the edge that's going to come up underneath my shelf is absolutely squared. So I'm going to put this behind the line that I have drawn here to represent my shelf, because let's say this is my shelf. The shelf is going to sit here, so I want my support to be under it. So at this point, behind. Okay, so I've lined it up with the pencil mark, and I purposely had the guy at Hallmark cut the wood. So this is 25 centimeters, but I didn't want all my support beams coming out exactly to 25, so I had him cut it to 24, so there's 1 centimeter less. The shelf will come out to 25, but then the support will be in 1 centimeter. That's just me. I like that. You don't have to do that. So for this project, I'm dealing with 1.8 centimeters of panel here, and this is 2.5 centimeters. So I don't want my screw to come barreling out the side. That wouldn't look so great. Nor do I want, I'm going to be screwing 2 times the shelf in here. And underneath that with the support beam, I don't want yet more screws. So where I can, I'm going to screw on the inside. So I'm going to do it with the support. Another thing to cover your screw holes, nail holes, we'll just take some wood putty and fill it in before we paint. So I've got that into position, and I just want to check to make sure that it's square using my 90-degree ruler. Interesting. This side is the most important that I want to make sure is square. So I'll bring that up to there. Okay, that's what I care about right there. So I'm going to take my drill, check it, make sure, excuse my butt again. I'm really sorry that I keep setting this up so you see my butt. Change it out to the Phillips head, and then we're going to screw in. there's one very, 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 very important thing that you have to remember about Hallmark. They close at 8 p.m. So I actually had to make a run up there. That's why the sun has gone past and so much time has passed since I've done the earlier video. So you have to plan ahead with your tools and with your supplies. And if you're running out of something, or it's, 5 o'clock or whatever, take a look around you, see how your project's going, determine if you will need some extra things, and go get them. If you need to borrow a truck, I think they give you a 1 hour. I know it's 20 kilometers. You can only go 20 kilometers in their truck. And they give you about an hour. So you can't show up at 7 o'clock expecting them to give you a truck. Excuse my butt. So keep an eye on the clock when you're working, when it comes to supplies. Okay, so rather than bore you with all this, so you know the basics, so I'm going to put another screw down here. And even before I drill this one, I'm going to measure it again. Wood can move. This is secure, but this is not. And like a hand on a clock, it can move. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these supports on both sides. There's 10 pieces that have to go in, so it'll be a little while. Okay, so all the support beams are put in, and for right now anyway, I can't put my light in because it'll get in the way of this. And I'm losing my light. It's getting later in the day, so I'll just continue and carry on. So I'm ready to lift this up, and what I want to do beforehand, I have these beams and this beam that I want to be able to screw into. I don't want to miss and be screwing into this. So what I'm going to quickly do and show you is measure. So from the top, I have 43 to 52 when I know I have a beam. So I'm going to go to the top, leave 1.8 centimeters, and go to 43, 52, and I'm just going to scribble here. Just making a scribble. And again, this can be erased. I'm going to paint over it. I don't know if you can see that part. Let me switch the camera around so I can see what I'm doing here. Hang on. Yep, good. Okay, so that's the top beam. And then I'm going to go over to the side that I can obviously see. This one, when I come in, it's 79 and goes to 88. So, starting from the left side, coming in 79 to 88. $79 to 88. Okay, so in this area. I'm going to make a scribble there. So as you might be able to see, I don't know if the light's still good enough, I have a measurement here for a beam and I have a measurement here. So I'm actually creating a grid for myself so I can follow later on. The purpose is this is going to be screwed into the wall, again for earthquake purposes. This is very heavy wood and I don't want it, if it's in a really bad earthquake, to fall over. This is going to be screwed in the back panel. I'm actually going to screw it in where the shelves are going to go, so you won't be seeing the screws where possible. Okay, so that's that. Now, let's see if I can lift this sucker. So what I want to do is to lift this up without scratching the ceiling because, as you may know from other videos, I just finished painting the ceiling. And this is really heavy wood. So I'm going to try to get it into position best I can and then lift up. And there's a screw in the bottom there where I ended up it went through. So I do have to be careful when I'm moving this around that the screw doesn't tear the tatami. But I don't care. I'm going to be replacing the floor. Watch out, baby. And I think it's stuck in again. Yep. Come on. You'll certainly get a workout doing this. Okay, so I'm going to start over here, lift up, and then push up. Because with this being the length it is, I can't tip it that way. It has to go up. So here we go. And let's hope nothing falls apart. And holy doodle, this is heavy. And then I'm just going to drag it into position. You can see why I took the light out. And it's very, can you see up top? No, you can't see up top. It's giddy to the ceiling. So I'm taking a lot of care not to scratch the ceiling. Now another thing is, as you probably can guess, the reason why I didn't put the shelves in is it would be even heavier had I done that. Okay, now I have a piece of wood here. It's going to go more snug up against the wall, but this is basically it. Let me grab my piece of wood. Bobo, come here, buddy. Out you go. Out. Just in case it falls. I have a piece of plywood. I'm just going to tip that forward. I have to pull it out to do that then. I'll shift it down here so I'm able to get into work here. Pull it out and push it back, watching the corners so it doesn't, and secure the bottom. Now, shimmy it towards, no, it needs to come out a bit more. Okay. Okay, so this is it, and I'll turn the camera off, get my shelves, and turn it back on and show you what I plan on doing. Okay, as I mentioned before, I'm losing my light, so I won't be able to videotape everything that I'm doing. And I just want to quickly point out a few things. So I haven't done anything to the bookcase since I turned the camera off last. What I did is I bought these at Hallmark. It's an L-shaped bracket, and they were 158 yen each. And not now, but what I plan to do is put one in each corner. And then once the shelf is on here, I plan on putting, it'll come out this way, and I plan on putting two more on the bottom shelf. This lower cupboard will be actually have doors on it, and I'll be able to put very heavy objects in that. So this is just securing the bottom so that the bottom is nice and sturdy. And then I'm going to move the camera up so I can show you. There we go. Okay, so here's a shelf that I had. It's 25 centimeters deep and it's 125 centimeters wide. And you probably know this, but I'll just quickly show you how to put in the shelf. So I've got these are secure. And this was guiding me before as to where my shelf was going to go. So I wanted to put it in on an angle. And I want to take care not to dent or damage the wood. And then just lay down. Okay, so there's a shelf. And what I'm going to do is secure it by putting screws out here. I'm not doing it now, I'm just showing you. So I'll put screws here. While I have this out from the wall, I'm able to move around it a bit. So screws will go here, excuse me, and screws will go on the other side over here. Now what else did I want to tell you? Right. And then what I'll be doing is, Actually, my priority is this side, because after this side is screwed, then I have to push it up against the wall and I won't be able to access it anymore. Now, when it comes to the top of this bookcase, it's on an angle right now, so you really can't see. Once this is up against the wall and put into proper position, I'm going to have 2 centimeters, 2.3 centimeters to work with. And at that point, I will have to slide in the top. And once it's slid into position, then I have more of these L-shaped brackets, and I'll put them in to support the top. There's no way I'll be able to screw the top down, unfortunately, but it will be secured into position on the sides and with these L brackets. And that's about all I can think of. So that's it for today. As I said, I'm losing my light and I really can't show you too much more. And yeah, so I'll come back on tomorrow when I'm working on the other storage / bookcase unit, and if I think of anything, I'll let you know. Okay, I'm just back quickly. I just thought of one last thing to show you. I've got the shelf up here, and what I will do is, prior to screwing this in, is I will take my level and set it in there, and beautiful. The bubble is exactly in the middle, so it's telling me, let me move that smidge. So it's telling me that my shelf is absolutely level. It's wonderful. It's great. If it were off, if it's off like a little smidge, it's up to you. If it was off by like just a little bit, I wouldn't change it. But, sorry, my brain's going faster than I can speak. But if it is off significantly, then this is your opportunity. You remove the shelf, and then you would just simply adjust which edge was, I'll use this example. You would just simply adjust these on either side, which edge was higher or lower, just to get them even. So that's a really good point to bring up. Check to make sure that your shelves are level before you commit to screwing them in. Okay, that's it. Okay, so here we have the cabinet, and I finished it. I've just put a few things in it to show you. It's really, really big, and it goes all the way up to the ceiling. And what I ended up doing last night was I secured the shelves, put the shelves in, lined them up where I was going to want to drill and secure the screws. So I did that last night. And then what I ended up doing was, this board over here, I screwed the bookcase into that board, and I also screwed it, the back of it, into this board. This baby is not going anywhere. I'm pulling on it with all my strength. It doesn't move, it doesn't shake, it's not going anywhere. It is secure. So I don't have to worry about an earthquake and this big, huge object toppling over. So there you go. Ah!